Being a cop is a job that is bound to make you come across some unconventional moments and people. Here are a few times cops found something that left them utterly shocked, like drugs in a doctor's bag right before he was about to do surgery. Accidentally locating a suspect with enough drugs to kill thousands of people, and that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Loaded syringe. Careful.
Sheriff's office.
You gotta watch the video to find ones that are even more surprising. The wildest ones are at the end. So stay tuned. Let's get started. Number 1. Cops find a woman chained by her boyfriend. Some people exist solely to contribute to the evil in the world.
What? Is he Hispanic?
Yeah.
Where's the kid?
36-year-old Moises May definitely makes it to the list. He had tied up his girlfriend, Joanna Wilson, with a dog chain just because of an argument, and that too after he hit her multiple times and threatened to take her life.
Non-injury,
Louisville Metro Police Department was receiving multiple calls from residents about a woman who was constantly screaming for help on August 16, 2023. Close to 7 p.m., multiple officers responded to the scene. It didn't take long for them to hear a woman screaming, and they soon spotted her in the second story of a house.
That was hard. Look at that boy.
But there was no way inside, as May had barricaded the front door and the windows with something before he left.
Yeah. I got a bunch of loose.
And the officers had no success trying to break it down. They gained entry only after one of the officers used a ladder to reach the window.
What? Is he Hispanic?
Yeah.
Where's the kid?
The victim still had the chain around her neck with a master lock secured.
I know he's got it on his chest.
The worst part is that the victim later revealed before doing that, he had forced her to strip and then used a machete to cut her hair off before doing all this. And to make sure she couldn't save herself, he took her phone and left with the intention to come back to murder her.
But there's no one else in here, right?
No, you can
There we go.
By the time the officer recused Joanna, she had been chained up for nearly 5 hours and only managed to break the window on the second floor, which alerted the neighbors.
There we go.
Thank you so much.
What kind of car does he drive?
She was rescued with an axe and treated at the scene by paramedics. The suspect was arrested 2 days later and charged with kidnapping, intimidating a legal participant, wanton endangerment, assault, terroristic threatening, and harassment. Finding and rescuing someone who was almost the victim of a murder has to be one of the rarest yet satisfying moments for a cop. But the next one wasn't as satisfying of a discovery. Number 2, Doctor on meth.
They're lighting them up.
Looks like he just pulled over on 31st Street.
A plastic surgeon in Florida, Dr. William Wright Adams, got arrested for having meth while heading to work to perform surgery on a patient. The arrest took place on May 24, 2022, during a traffic stop by officers in Pinellas County, Florida, because of a previous residential burglary related to the doctor. He had paid someone to break into his ex-boyfriend's home to steal an emerald belly button ring and some meth.
Explain everything, okay? What's going on? I'll explain everything, all right?
That's supposed to be operating.
Okay, that's fine. This is more important right now. Definitely, all right?
As soon as he stepped out of his vehicle, he was handcuffed. Adams immediately tried to tell the cops that he was on his way to a surgery that was about to start, which he was supposed to assist.
Definitely searching that. I saw him picking it up while we were,
After being searched, the cops found a pack of cigarettes on him. The cops seated him in the back of the police car and began searching his vehicle. And just when the cops think the only thing this doctor was involved in was a burglary, another one pulls out a backpack from the doctor's car.
You want somebody to come pick up your car?
Beg your pardon?
You want somebody to come and pick up your car? Because we're parked on 31st Street. It's
Right.
a busy street.
I mean,
So,
I'm not sure what's going on.
okay. Well, I'd love to talk to you. Before I can ask you anything, we've got to read you your rights, okay? But I want to figure out, because we're blocking a busy street right here.
You're putting somebody to sleep right now for me to operate on.
Okay.
So I have to call
Would you
them.
like me
If
to
I
call them
can't be
and
there,
tell them? Or are they going to do that when you show up?
They're all waiting for me right now.
Okay, so are they doing the medicine prior to you showing up?
Sedation, probably somewhat. Usually
Yes? Yes or no? Because I'll make a call over there.
Yes, please call.
The only person who knew what was in the backpack was Adams, who was insisting on going back to the hospital.
Sign the office and just tell them not to sedate the next person. Is there somebody that can pick up your car, or are we just gonna tow it?
Yes, there is.
Okay. Who is it?
Just tell them if someone needs to come pick up the car, they'll do it. There's more than enough people.
Are you saying from someone from the office?
Yeah, there's more than enough.
He's saying there's more than enough people at the office.
The officer then contacted the inpatient doctor's office to inform his staff not to administer anesthesia to the patient and to arrange for someone from the office to pick up his vehicle.
I know you probably have no clue what's going on right now, but I think you have a perspective of what I'm going to bring up that I'd appreciate statements for. That's up to you. I want to ask you specific questions, but before I do that, I have to read you your rights. Okay? We do that with everyone that's in custody. Okay?
Okay.
All right? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him or her present with you while you are being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you. You could decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand each of these rights I have explained to you?
Yes, sir.
Having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to me now?
I would, my attorney, Kevin Hazlett.
Okay. You want your attorney present?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The officer tried to ask Dr. Adams some questions, but he said no and asked for a lawyer, which was his right by law. And that's when the cop decided to look through the backpack, where he found a pipe, some small bags that contained 3 grams of crystal meth. After this, the cops contacted the lawyer, who advised the client to remain silent.
I can hear you. You want to confirm that you can hear him?
Yes. Hey, Kevin.
Hey, Bill. Hey, Bill, here's what we're going to do. I talked to the sergeant, who's a nice young lady. What we're going to do at this point is we're going to invoke your rights against self-incrimination. This is not the time to tell your story. There will be a time. This is not that time. So I have invoked your rights against speaking to them. We'll have an opportunity to speak to the right people at the right time. Just today's not the time. So I'm going to ask you not to answer any more of the questions. They're not going to ask you any more questions. I would ask Bill that you don't voluntarily want to explain what happened, because there'll be a time for that. Do you understand that, Bill?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's assume that you've been given propofol and you can't talk. Okay, so just say nothing. Let's go ahead and just I'll connect with you. I will get you bonded out of jail this afternoon. It will take probably till 3 or 4 o'clock today. They've got to book you. They're going to take you. This process takes some time. So after you get out, you and I will talk. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And then at the appropriate time, we will talk to the people that need to hear your story. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
No problem.
Thank you, Detective.
Thank you.
Detective.
No worries.
That would be one of the very few suspects who actually took the advice. Oh, and a fun fact, the burglary wasn't the only thing on his previous charges. In June 2020, Adams got arrested at the Pinellas County Justice Center for carrying crystal meth. But the charges got dropped later as prosecutors couldn't prove the drugs were his. He continued practicing without facing any punishment from the Florida Board of Medicine. Then, in December 2023, Adams admitted guilt to burglary and methamphetamine possession charges from a 2022 incident. Despite a potential 20-year jail term, he received just a 90-day rehab program sentence instead. Soon after confessing, Adams shut down his practice and retired. Number 3, cops find out they had been terrorizing the wrong house for a welfare check. In 2020, Officer Marler and another female cop knocked on the door of Cody Marler for a welfare check.
You know who that is? No. Who's your girlfriend or your baby mama? Lady right here.
First of all, that's my wife.
Okay. Okay.
The thing is, they never had the correct address, ignored the innocent until proven guilty rule, and treated Cody quite rudely.
What's the problem?
So we're here on a welfare check. We have to
Oh,
get
hang on.
these okay?
Why? Because we received a call from North Bay for the incident that occurred earlier.
What incident?
Cody.
Look right there. Supposed to be an investigator. If y'all investigate.
This situation could have changed completely if the officers had just double-checked the address where they were supposed to do a welfare check. However, they didn't listen, even after he directed them to the correct house.
Okay. What's your first name?
I don't have to identify myself to you, do I? Am I under investigation? You want to tell me what's going on?
Want to
Don't
confirm the
knock on my
address?
window.
Come out here.
No, she can't come out there. Y'all need to tell me what's going on. This is my house.
We told you.
Copy. They're advising that this is not the right address.
No,
Hi, ma'am. What? Ma'am?
Y'all violating my rights right now.
Actually, we're not, dude.
But here's when things started to heat up. The officer insisted on knowing the citizen's first name. However, the citizen, who happened to be a U.S. military officer, knew his rights and refused to answer, citing the Fourth Amendment.
You're not telling me. No,
Okay.
that is.
Okay.
I just said it to you.
Listen to me, dude. We're not violating your rights.
You are.
How?
Because you,
Which
you,
right?
you-
Which,
you-
which civil right are we violating?
Why are you raising your
We're
voice?
not violating
Why is he raising
anything,
his voice?
okay?
Why is he raising
So
his
we
voice?
are here on
you
a
threatening
welfare
me?
check.
I can go inside my
We
house.
are here on a welfare check
I
that
don't
was
know who
called in
Giselle
by
is.
North Bay over
You
a
said that
child.
already. I don't know what that
Well,
means.
Stop talking. Let me talk.
I don't have to
Over a
stop
child
talking.
that
Freedom of speech,
ingested
right? Why is he I don't like him.
a person that ingested or nail polish. Okay.
Okay, so
We come here. Your baby's
check
right
on-
there.
Okay,
We're trying to check on
I'm
the
gonna talk
kid.
to you. First of all, you fucking came to my house and said, "Is that my girlfriend or my baby mama?" That's my wife. So that's disrespectful starting
Okay.
off.
All right, sir. So.
That was disrespectful starting off.
Okay.
And
Okay,
then he's
I
raising his
understand.
voice at me.
I
Okay.
understand.
So now I can raise my voice,
Let's
right?
go. No, you can eat a dick.
Even though Marler suspected that he was at the wrong address, he raised his voice at the citizen, started talking over him, and refused to talk properly, even cursing at the citizen before leaving.
Can you hear me, sir? Can you hear me, sir? All right, man. I'd just like to apologize for getting upset with you earlier. No, I just don't want to. Can you open the door? Okay. All right, I'm not going to get into my own personal things, but I had some personal things going on that I let get the best of me, and I do apologize for that. I shouldn't have raised my voice with you like that and get the best of me. All right, so I really do apologize.
So you don't want to lose your job is why you're here.
But this cop's discovery cost him his job, even after his apology was publicly released. Suisun City Police Chief Aaron Roth announced that Marler was no longer employed. He was later hired at another department. And that's why some cops need to learn that they can't just mess around and find out. Number 4. Cops. Find sleeping man in car, discover unexpected danger.
Sheriff's office.
On September 18th, 22, after an alarm at around 5 a.m., sheriffs went to a gas station where they found James Wilson Duke sleeping in a car. The man was unresponsive at first. He didn't respond, despite multiple calls, until a deputy knocked on his car door.
Sheriff's office. Hey, Sheriff's office. Right here. You okay? What's going on? I'm trying not to.
I mean, you're not doing a real good job at it.
Huh?
You're not doing a real good job at it.
Okay, well, there's no need for an attitude. You okay?
When the officer spotted him, the gas station had been long closed.
Stop and take a nap.
Okay.
Damn, I forgot I passed out behind the gas station. I asked the guy to stop. I was like, man, let me take a nap out back.
The guy from the gas station or the
there was
vehicle, the auto shop?
No, not the bottle shop. The dude at the gas station, and he's
Okay.
like, we'll be here like 11 or 12, and I was like, all right, I'll just take a nap for like an hour, and after like 3 o'clock, I guess.
I gotcha. Sorry.
He gave the cop a fake name and tried to divert her attention by asking her questions instead of providing his identification.
Blind you. What's your first name?
Justin?
Justin?
Yeah.
Do you have a middle initial?
Huh?
Middle initial? Middle name?
Middle initial? Oh.
Yeah.
Mine.
It's not that hard. Unless you're trying to make up a name.
No, man. Well, I mean, why are y'all messing with me?
He finally gave his actual middle name to the officer, but no correct first name. Since the cops could clearly smell marijuana in his car, he was asked to keep his hands in plain sight.
So what's your middle name?
Can I get myself together? Like, my name's Will. I don't know what. Like,
Justin?
No. Wilson.
Wilson?
Yes, ma'am.
Do me a favor, Wilson. Keep your hands up on that dash. Nope. Sit up. Sit up. Keep your hands on that.
With stuff in it. Loaded syringe. Careful. Scale. Passenger. Burglary tools?
Burglary tools. We got all that. We got hammers, dude.
And that's also out. Like, that's not normal for that to be.
Another one right here.
Yeah. Which that, if I'm not mistaken, it's actually an expensive dead blow hammer right there, but
I don't think he's farm up there.
yeah, I don't know where we go. The radio's on the back. Holy.
Yeah?
Hey.
It's a lot of fentanyl. Huh? What's your fentanyl?
Okay, well, continue.
While searching Duke's truck, deputies discovered a loaded syringe beneath the passenger seat. They later found several plastic bags of fentanyl inside a fanny pack, which totaled up to 338 grams, and some marijuana as well. This guy had enough stuff to potentially harm 169,000 people, which is like the whole populations of Flagler and Putnam counties combined. Other than that, they also confiscated an electronic weighing scale and a tool bag containing screwdrivers, hammers, and wire cutters typically used by burglars. That's not all. Once deputies got Duke's real name, they found out he had a warrant from the Knox County Sheriff's Office in Tennessee. But it wasn't one they could bring him back for, just for not showing up in court. He was arrested for providing false information to the cops, loitering, and resisting an officer. He also faced charges of trafficking in fentanyl, possession with intent to use burglary tools, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Number 5. The driver who just smiled at the cop when he had no license for transporting drugs.
How you doing? The reason I pulled you over, one, you're running about 25, 30 miles under the speed limit, and then you crossed this white line twice. No, I didn't. Yes, you did, sir.
On January 11th, 2023, Seminole police noticed a yellow box truck driving erratically near Highway 99 and EW 1255. The driver, Bun Wong, aged 46, was inside the truck.
Sir. All right, sir, while I'm waiting on the return, I'm going to take my dog, I'm going to run it around the vehicle. If you can, just shut the vehicle off and keep your windows rolled up. And before we run, is there any illegal narcotics, marijuana, meth, heroin, or cocaine? So is it full-size plants? They're just plants, though. You got a transportation license, too? I don't have it with me.
But the erratic driving was the least of the concerns, as the officer detected an extremely strong scent of marijuana coming from the truck. When informed that a K9 unit would inspect the vehicle for drugs, Wong handed over paperwork disclosing the presence of marijuana in the back of the vehicle. And it wasn't just a pack or two. You'd be as surprised as the cop. Wong provided the officer with a transportation manifest, but the officer stated that it wasn't enough, and some additional documentation was needed.
You gotta have the transportation. Everything is legal. Not if you don't have a transportation license. I don't have that sealed up. And you don't have the transport license either?
Because he lacked proper documentation, the officer told Wong that his operating this vehicle was illegal.
You mind if I open the back up, or do you want to open the back? Okay.
You want me to open it?
You can if you want. Yes, sir. So is it... Okay. Just plants all the way to the top. Goodness gracious, how many supposed to be there?
Wong just smiled at the cop and then exited the truck and opened the rear. Despite claiming around 150 plants, a total of 222 marijuana plants were discovered, which surpassed the manifest's information by a lot. The truck's back was packed with plants.
Coming from where? It's coming from Okima? Well, you didn't come from Okima.
Yes, I stopped by something at some house.
Well, I mean, you stopped way out of the way of Okima. Okima is like way over.
But that wasn't the only red, or should I say green flag. Another discrepancy arose when Wong mentioned his supposed destination to Officer Messner, stating he traveled from Okima and headed to Nowata, which didn't make sense.
Well, I got roughly 150 plants, but everything he's saying is not adding up to what his manifest is saying. He doesn't have a transportation license. But then he come back, then he hollered at me and he said, my lawyer helped me do this, and he showed me something on his phone. I said, just go back up there and sit down and we'll be with you.
Yes, Lord. Suspecting something was off, the officer contacted a detective, who then got in touch with the unit overseeing marijuana regulation.
My guess is it's all fake as all get out.
Yeah, it looks like it.
I think it's fake as all get out. He said this manifest was created on 1/12.
Created the future, Billy.
I was like, okay. And it was after this time, so I looked down at my watch. I said, what happened? Look.
When the detectives arrived, they noticed a major detail on the shipping manifest. It was dated in the future, which made it even more suspicious. At the same time, it was pretty clear that the actions were all planned.
Well, you can have them send that to you, but right now you're going to be detained for not having a transport license, because you don't have a transport license.
My boss has it.
You have to have the transport license. Whoever's transporting has to be in this truck that's a license. 1, you don't have a locked door. 2, you don't have a transport license. You don't have the grower's license or anything like that with you. So he's going to transport you back.
Following this discovery, Wong was detained and later arrested on charges related to cultivation. He was specifically charged with cultivating a controlled substance. Number 6, the son who had a hand in his mother's disappearance.
Did it smell when you went up to the door?
Police reached the Carver's residence for a welfare check in Punta Gorda, Florida, just before 5 p.m. on May 5th, 2023, after a report from a worried friend. The friend informed officers that Lainey Carver's phone had been going to voicemail every day that week. Neighbors reported that she hadn't been seen for nearly 6 days. No response at the door, a messy house, and a strong smell alerted deputies to potential issues at the southwestern Florida residence. Not to mention, flies were seen gathering around the door.
This place is a disaster. You smell it?
No, I do.
I know it's coming out of
The deputy questioned a neighbor if he had noticed any disturbances, but he mentioned everything had been quiet. However, he often saw a man from the house, identified as Justin Carver, 36, frequently on the road. It was revealed that Lainey, Justin's mother, had filed a no-contact order against him weeks before her disappearance.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's only been there for like a few weeks because the tent wasn't there, and then the tent showed up, and then he was around. So.
Right. Any commotions or anything in the last couple of days or before then?
No, like yelling or fighting or anything like that.
Nothing
here. They're pretty quiet for the most part. But
okay.
The most I see out of the dude is just like sometimes he walks up and down the road. Today he was riding a bike. So.
Do you know what?
The cops tried to call the woman's phone, but received no response. They couldn't leave because the smell coming from the house was downright vile, and one of them noticed that the AC was working.
I can't hear nothing, but I can smell that smell.
You got close to the...
After checking the hospitals, deputies returned to the house to continue their search.
Check her out in all of the hospitals to see if she's there.
With no response at either the front or back doors, the officers conducted a perimeter search of the house and spotted Justin Carver lying on a bed inside. It was only after the officers started knocking on the window that he opened the door. But the suspicious part is that as soon as Carver stepped out, he swiftly shut the door and settled on the top step, with his eyes fixated on the ground.
Oh, did you hear us knocking before? Or were you knocked out?
No, I was sleeping in there.
I'm glad you woke up because you're about to come inside. We're looking for Mom. Have you seen her?
She's not around right now.
Do you know where she's at? Sister's asking for her. She's not in any trouble or anything like that.
When was the last time you saw her?
A few days ago.
His answers were extremely elusive and weird.
Is it abnormal for Mom to be gone for days at a time?
The officers could clearly tell that Carver wasn't telling the entire truth.
She gave me a few cigarettes and a little bit of food and some hand soap to wash my hands. She told me I could come
Stay back here.
The deputies knew Carver's behavior was evasive. Even though he tried to play cool, his constant drinking water and fidgeting were speaking for themselves. That's why, when the cops requested entry into the residence, Carver tried to show they could enter, but then stopped them to keep them outside by falsely claiming he had locked the door.
And it would be alright if they just went inside to make sure she's not in there. Huh?
I can't tell you no.
Okay.
But you stay here and it's your mom's house?
Then we're looking for mom, so we just want to make sure mom's not stowed away in a closet or something. Dad didn't come back and retaliate for getting arrested or something like that. So, if you're not going to tell me yes or no, then we're just going to peek our head in there real quick and then we'll come back outside. You can lead the way if you're so pleased.
I'm trying to lock the door.
You could go in with it. You could go in. Just lead us through it.
Do you have a key?
No.
Why would you lock the door behind you?
I just usually do that.
So how do you get in?
I don't know.
How about this other little door that's over here?
It's just barricaded up.
With what?
Garbage cans and stuff.
So how do you get in the house? Why did you lock the door? Because I feel like you're fucking with me. What the hell? What's the deal?
I'm not trying to fuck with you, you're saying.
You understand how this looks, right?
That's right.
So how do you get in the house since you locked the door?
I'm probably sleep in the tent.
Are you not supposed to be in the house? Is that why you locked the door?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's fine. We're not worried.
He then led the cops through another door.
You mean that I believe it was to the intersection of Duncan and Washington Loop Road, to make contact with Jane and Jessica. Jessica is stating that her boyfriend.
But of course, he tried to delay entry by pretending to not be able to open the door, but the cops were having none of it.
I think if you shimmy it into the right, we could be able to just pull it out.
He's the one that said it.
So push it into the right. Keep pushing it in. Now try to move it out, and then push it out. There you go.
Carver eventually allowed the officers into the residence, where they discovered Laney's body on the bedroom floor, between the bed and the wall. Her body displayed signs of bloating, marbled skin and skin slippage, which means it had been quite a long time since she had passed away.
So you're going to tell me you didn't know mom was in there?
No, sir.
Stand up right there. Because now I got a whole bigger issue. Call 400 and have them come out here.
431 to 400.
Have a seat.
Carver reportedly first said he hadn't seen his mother since their earlier conversation that week. However, he later confessed to finding her body 2 days prior, though he wasn't supposed to be at the house due to Laney having obtained a no-contact order against him. When questioned about why he hadn't reported his mother's death, Carver just responded with a shrug. Which son would do that?
Okay. So you saw her in the position that she's currently in now?
Yes, sir.
So why did you tell us that mom wasn't there?
Yes.
You know better than me. I wasn't the one that did it, so. Because I smelt her before you ever even came outside, and you're telling me mom's not in there, and you know damn well that she was in there.
The cause of Laney's death, as well as Carver's possible involvement, is still under investigation. Carver is currently detained at the Charlotte County Jail. Oh, and Justin has been previously arrested on charges related to drugs and battery, so him having involvement in his mother's death isn't out of the question. It's said that if anyone smells a decaying body, they never forget the smell. How was a son just living with his mum's body rotting in the house near him is a question that I can't find the answer to. And honestly, if it wasn't for those two officers refusing to give up the search for the woman for hours, it's likely that her body still wouldn't have been discovered. We definitely need more cops like this, but let's move on to the next case. Number 7. Officers discover a woman risking her and her kids' lives.
Okay. Darling.
She's on Molly.
It's okay.
Molly.
Dear.
The door locked.
All right. Everybody back up. Everybody.
The next one takes us all the way back to 2018 on the 23rd of May. The Delray Beach Police received a 911 call about a woman who was later identified as 23-year-old Kyla Rose Pecorina. She was standing on the ledge of her house and had brought her 2 children, a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old, with her. A female briefed Officer Rabadia that Kyla was suspected to be under the influence of drugs believed to be MDMA, also known as ecstasy.
How do we get in the house? They're real. We're gonna help. Let's get breaching tools. Let's get breaching tools.
The children around 15 to 20 feet above the ground were not even properly dressed. The officer managed the situation calmly and with respect. But Kyla's hallucinations made her very uncooperative, which is why the officers acted swiftly. Some moved towards the edge to help bring them down, while others stayed on the ground, ready to catch the children in case of a fall.
It's okay. It's okay. Police, we're here to help, okay? We're here to help.
Oh, wait. No, wait.
Oh, it's okay.
No, wait. You're not a real one. I want to see your badge.
One of the officers had to handle Kyla, who was very upset and not thinking clearly. Even though she couldn't read properly, she kept asking for the officer's badge. That same officer was also watching over the children to make sure they didn't accidentally hurt themselves.
No. I want to see your badge.
Okay, here.
I want to see your badge.
Let me show you. It's okay. Look.
I want to see your badge.
There you go.
Okay, really?
Yeah, real.
No, really. Let me see.
Yeah, right here. Look. See? It says police.
Sergeant?
Yeah.
No, you're not. It doesn't say sergeant. Okay, sergeant.
Huh?
No. Who are you? Point blank? Point blank? Body adventure? No, point blank body adventure!
The cops finally managed to get the kids to safety.
We're gonna walk to that police officer, okay? Take the little one. Come here, baby girl. You're okay. Come here, buddy. You're all right, buddy. Come here, buddy. You're all right.
Kyla thought she was keeping her kids safe, but what she was doing was actually causing more problems, just fighting back and yelling at the cops while thrashing her limbs everywhere. Kyla was then put in handcuffs, taken away from the scene, and brought to the hospital for a 72-hour mental health check, after which she was arrested. The Department of Children and Families took care of her 2 kids, while the mother was charged with 2 counts of child neglect. She got out of jail after paying a $6,000 bond. Honestly, what can be more surprising than a mother putting her own children in danger? Well, the next case, number 8. Fake cop finds out his actions have consequences.
Usually when stuff like this happens, it's like, he's gonna probably say that you also had a gun or something. Just to eliminate that, do you have one in the car or on you? Not at all? Okay, do you mind if we search you in the car just to make sure? Okay, cool, sweet. I'm not gonna put you in handcuffs or anything, but... Sweet.
I wish I had one.
Yeah, no, for sure. I got you. Absolutely. And if that's the case, then what he did is absolutely unacceptable, and we're gonna
firefighter,
we're gonna take care of that.
Just leave it right there. Thank you.
Do you live nearby? No, my friend lives in this community. I was just going to visit him.
Oh, gotcha.
And I'm pretty sure the people that,
For this one, the officers found a guy who wanted to act just like them, but was terribly bad at doing so. The suspect in question was Anthony Woods, a firefighter with Orange County Fire Rescue. A gray Hyundai cut off a citizen on the road and began tailing him. Shortly after, the same Hyundai blocked the victim's car. The driver, none other than Woods, was armed with a black gun and claimed he was a police officer. He confronted the victim, insisting he was a cop. In response, the victim dialed 911 to report the incident. While on the call, Woods intercepted again, warning the victim against mentioning him to the emergency dispatcher. Worried about getting into trouble with the wrong person, the victim met with the officer, shared his version of events, and consented to a search of his person and vehicle for any weapons.
Hey, what's up, man?
Fire station? Where you want me to park at?
You can park right here. This place closed.
Okay.
You're good, man.
How you guys doing?
Good, man.
Yeah, I work at this fire station, right? So I left my gear here, and one of my other coworkers called me. They're like, bro, I'm on the 408. This car was driving so reckless. He had a G3070. I guess he was a sports guy because even his license plate said G37 OGS, and I'm like, okay, I already see what it's doing. When I say he almost annihilated my car. And
So you were following him?
No.
Or he was following you?
No, now this way happened as well. Now as we like I said, we at the stoplight, he talking to smack. I'm like, bro, you driving reckless. He was following me because ain't no way you come by the fire. You know, close to the station. I'm saying like, you're not gonna come to my station. I had a U-turn and everything, and I'm on the phone like, you know, he's following me. Like I'm not.
Yell at him at the light or whatever you guys got into it at the light.
All it was verbal.
And
I just called just because, like I say, at that moment he already made me nervous.
Right.
That's really what it is. At that moment I'm sitting like.
He ever pull any weapons out on you or anything like that?
No.
Did you pull any weapons out on him? No. He like through the window or however you want to word that. Real quick, you swear and affirm everything you said is true and correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. If I just get a full autograph right here.
Sure.
Let me. Hang on. I need one on the front page too. Different pages. Hang tight, let me go talk to him real quick. What's your name, man?
He was found to be unarmed. However, the same couldn't be said for Woods. Woods pulls up to the scene and starts talking as if nothing was wrong and the cops were his friends, or at least in his mind they were.
I was in a bag. I was in a coma for 6 months. I broke my whole arm. I broke my whole leg. I broke my left ocular, my jaw. But you know, I usually, you know what I'm saying? So me being one of the guys that suffered from that and being a firefighter, it's like, bro, when I say he was hauling ass, and then I saw the Infinity as a G, even his license plate said, I'm be honest with you, from me, yeah, G37S. I say, even.
To his credit, he continues speaking in a tone suggesting he was in the right while portraying the other driver as reckless. He denied ever following the other driver, maintaining it was merely a verbal altercation with no threats made. However, the police officers didn't believe him at all. Not to mention, he even tried to relate himself to the cops by mentioning wanting to apply for the job.
I'm just nervous because I don't want to get in trouble. I'm going to be honest with you.
Why would you get in trouble?
I don't know. Like, my job was substance.
What's your last name?
Woods.
Mr. Woods. When you got your car, if I know you got your car, I might know a couple other things.
For nearly half an hour, he tried to make up excuses that made no sense, such as lying about the second run-in by saying it was the GPS that misguided him. But his lies soon get busted after he comes across an officer who can actually handle such manipulators.
What did you say to him, specifically about maybe being a firefighter?
I said, yeah, I work for the government, bro. Like, I'm a firefighter. Like, see, this, like, that's what I am. Like, you're driving reckless. I'm not just a guy that, if you look off the looks, tatted up, big, and then just, you know what I'm saying? I'm not
Mr.
really
Woods, I know you said you're a firefighter. The rest of that you're saying wasn't, I didn't hear that part. But you also said something else. What'd you tell me you're a police officer for? Was that a slip, or did you accidentally say that? Or?
That was a slip.
Okay. So
I meant first responder, firefighter. I didn't mean it.
So you said, I'm a firefighter and a police officer.
Yes, I apologize.
Right.
That was,
but you know you shouldn't do that, right?
Yes, I was talking too quick. That was definitely my fault.
This cop means business. Woods cracks under pressure and confesses he's scared about what's ahead. It won't be long before he caves in completely.
Oh, I'm gonna lose my job.
Relax, Sling Buff.
Please, can I call
Listen, my brother's a firefighter.
I'm lose my job.
Listen,
please,
my brother's a firefighter, so I respect firefighters.
Please.
Listen. You have to make better judgments. We cannot be like, police officers cannot act this way, and firefighters cannot act this way.
Please, I'm gonna lose my job.
No,
I'm gonna lose everything.
You can't.
I'm gonna lose everything.
I seriously pray and hope that you don't lose everything. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. But we can't look the other way, whether you're a firefighter, police officer, paramedic, or anybody like that. If a deputy did this, or a police officer did this, I look you man to man right in the eye, they would be going to jail for what you did tonight, sir.
When asked about his job as a firefighter, he tries to change the subject, but the officer stays focused. Soon, he admits to pretending to be a police officer, but he blames it on talking too fast. Once the adrenaline wore off, reality hit him hard, and he began pleading with the officers to release him. However, he was swiftly arrested for impersonating a cop during a felony and for firearm assault. Woods received a sentence of 6 months of supervised probation, ordered to attend a firearms safety course, and had to pay minor fines. Oh, and he ended up resigning from his position within a couple of months. Serves him right for trying to play cop. Number 9. Cops find a politician who threatens them with his influence and ends up losing his position.
That was at Euclid and Fruitvale.
You don't need to point at me, officer.
I'm not pointing at you, I'm pointing in the direction where it was.
I'll just call the chief, how's that?
Go right ahead, sir. Can I see
You
your
know who I
license?
am, right?
Yes, sir, I do. Can I see your license, registration, insurance, please?
You can do this?
Yes, sir.
Lastly, we have the man who is the embodiment of, you know who I am? It's none other than Martin Hyde, a Sarasota businessman and former Republican congressional candidate. Focus on former. Anyways, he was pulled over on February 14th, 2022 by police officer Julia Beskin, who stopped Hyde for exceeding the speed limit by 17 miles per hour while texting behind the wheel at the same time. And Hyde's encounter with Officer Beskin went far from smooth. Right from the beginning, he was disrespectful and uncooperative.
I'm sorry? I still have a job to do, sir.
Yeah. What's your name?
Officer Beskin, it's going to be on the citation. Can I see your insurance, registration, and your license, please? Sir, can I have your paperwork, please? 7 years, sir.
He talked to the officer in a really condescending tone, at one point even asking her to turn off the camera, which she refused to do.
Can I see your registration, please? You're not going to give me your registration, sir.
You arrest me?
I'm asking you if you're going to produce me with your registration. You don't have it on you?
Look, go call the chief. Tell him how rude you just been to me. Blame this video.
Okay.
Then you call Marlon Brown. Then you call the mayor.
Okay.
They're not okay, though. Tell me what to do.
Okay, sir. Are you refusing to produce your registration?
Pulling the classic connections card, he brought into discussion how he could talk about the officer's behavior with her chief.
I'm asking you if you have your registration.
You're making career decisions.
Okay,
Why
sir.
are you doing this?
Sir, because you were speeding and you were texting.
To make matters worse, he then went on to subtly threaten her career.
Call the supervisor. I just spoke to your boss.
Okay.
That's not okay.
You want your paperwork?
Is it your Russian immigrant status that makes you talk to people like this?
10-14-6.
Call the supervisor.
14 dispatch, can you have my supervisor?
You
are going to be issued a
There's the registration.
Well, you've been already issued a citation for that.
For what?
For failing to produce your registration.
When Officer Beskin attempted to issue a ticket, Hyde refused to accept it and asserted that he had spoken to her superior. Matters escalated when he made offensive remarks about her immigration status. Ultimately, the officer had to seek assistance from her supervisor.
You know what he said about you? You want to hear what he said about you?
He could say all he wants about me. I got a job to do, sir.
You know what he said about you?
If you fail to complete...
Like this. Okay. And he's going to have you again.
And that's fine.
It's not fine. Why do you keep saying it's fine?
Sir?
I'm a law-abiding citizen, and you're being bloody rude.
Later, Hyde provided his registration details, but it was after the officer gave him a citation. Even then, he kept trying to belittle the officer by mentioning her boss and calling her names.
You are going to be issued a citation for texting and driving. Okay? You are going to be issued a citation for texting.
The officer, behaving like a professional, ignored his behavior, but this guy just kept going on and on.
Sir, step back into your car or stand on the sidewalk so you don't get hit by a vehicle. It's for your safety.
Once the officer handed Martin the citation and gave him the ticket details, she had to go back to her car and await her supervisor's arrival. However, Martin stubbornly refused to cooperate in any manner possible and started walking on the road as if he owned it.
Texting while driving, failure to produce his registration when I asked. He told me I could look it up.
Okay. You know who he
Yes.
Yeah, you got identified.
Yes.
After the supervisor finally reached the scene, the officer briefed him on the situation, and the supervisor seemed to be much less honest than this officer. When the supervisor approached Hyde, his threats against the officer's job intensified even more.
She's trying to make her spurs, but it's a big... Yeah. We're going to make sure that she pays the price for being disrespectful. I've lived here for 25 years. I've represented your unit. I've got no interest in listening to you, young...
He argued that due to his long-standing presence in the area, his son being a police officer and his owning an expensive car, he shouldn't have to provide registration at all.
Straight away writing the tickets. Why?
Well, she's a traffic officer.
Yeah,
that's what we do. But I understand.
I understand.
Listen, she has a job to do. I'm not. Listen, I'm gonna look at the video. I understand your concerns. I'm gonna look at the video. I notified everybody in the chain of command right now. That's what I was doing. That's why I was not coming here. I thought you were gonna meet me at the station, but it's not a big deal. She's going right now to dock her video. Right now, she's going to dock her video. And if there's problems, you will be the first to know.
Well, I know there's problems. The difference is, I'll do something about it.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, I'm going to take your complaint, is what I'm doing. That's the first step.
You know, how can you write a ticket for no registration when you've got the registration? I mean, as if I get a $150,000 car, I've lived here for 25 years and I don't register the car. Why do that?
I understand what you're saying.
Well, you tell me what the point is.
It's just a state statute that she enforces. She's not the only traffic officer that writes.
Would you give a ticket for that?
I really don't leave the office.
Although the sergeant attempted to convey that the officer was simply performing her duties, he stubbornly ignored the hint.
What exactly occurred?
Because she had a bee in her bonnet because she thought she was on a big power trip. Guess what? She's been there 7 years. She ain't gonna make it. You don't treat people that have treated and supported you. Bare minimum of respect is yes sir, no sir. No wonder you got people shooting people in Newtown if that's how you talk.
He continued threatening the officer's job multiple times, but fortunately, none of his threats materialized. Karma caught up to him, and he paid a heavy price. He lost his standing in the elections, had to remove his website and social media profiles, and even released a public apology video. Kudos to the officer for standing up. She had the guts to do what many of her supervisors probably won't have. Thank you for watching the video. Which discovery did you find the most disturbing or surprising? If you know of any more cases like this, let us know in the comments. Hopefully, you enjoyed watching this one. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. See you in the next video.